The tournament got announced. It is public information now. If you guys did not hear, there is a $100,000 Makara tournament happening at the end of this month. Let's just watch the OTK hardcore Makara tournament announcement for anyone who has missed it. This trailer is so badass. So badass, dude. So badass. Oh shit.
I challenge Makara!
Yeah. Dang, level 60, baby.
My
I
bad.
want to see a war duel in the tournament.
My bad.
100,000 prize pool makes it the largest. There it is, boys. There it is. Looks so good. Character creation October 6th. That's tomorrow. Wait, hold on. Let's pause on this last screen. Character creation October 6th. That's tomorrow. All right. The leveling dates will be the 6th through the 30th. You register on Raider.io. Can only streamers join. It is open registration. Anyone can join. At level 60, there's going to be an open bracket. That's going to happen on the 30th. On the 30th, that's the qualifying bracket. It's going to be the top 34-68. 34-68 to make it to the finals. Then from there, well, on the 31st, they'll duel it out. 32. Will it be Horde or Ally? It's going to be Horde, which means no Paladins. We wanted to do Skull Rock because the advantage, no one really has much gold on Skull Rock, right? No one has much of an advantage because everyone has their gold over on DP. So since pretty much no streamers are going to have much gold on Skull Rock, the economy is pretty low. It's going to be a more even playing field. No world buffs too. Let's go. Yes, so we did decide on not doing any world buffs for the tourney. We did decide on no Petri flasks, but besides that, we're like pretty open on the rule book. We wanted as little rules as possible, but we did also decide on no raid gear. One of the reasons we decided on no raid gear was because we didn't want streamers having a benefit of like, oh, let's get carried through this, get full epics, and I'm against a person that's not a streamer in full greens. We wanted to even out the playing field as much as possible between streamers and non-streamers. So that's why we chose Skull Rock. That's why we banned raid gear. Yeah, world boss loot. We're still talking about world boss loot. Right as it stands right now, world boss loot is allowed, but we're still having meetings about it. So I'll be in contact with them. Basically, the reasoning behind us allowing world boss loot right now is because the reality of 40 players making it to 60 and actually killing a world boss is like really low and very risky. So someone could go for a world boss and die. Since Skull Rock doesn't have much of an economy and doesn't have many level 60s, it's going to be very hard for players to actually get to level 60 and clear a world boss. So it's just a very hard, risky thing to do. Streamers will easy with existing builds. It's on a brand new realm that no streamer plays on, Skull Rock. So that should not be an issue. Is Skull Rock that far behind? Yes. Is boosting allowed? You can get help. Yeah, it's not SSF. So one of the biggest questions people have is, why is the tourney not SSF? And that's a good question. The reality of the answer is it's not enforceable, right? You could tell people to use the add-on, but there's many issues with the add-on. One, you can just disable the add-on and cheat the add-on very easily. Two, at level 60, the add-on doesn't work anyway, so it would disqualify everybody. If you didn't know that, that's how the add-on works. So we can't really do a reliable and trackable SSF in the current landscape. If Blizzard wants to add an SSF feature, we could do another tourney with SSF. Am I going to be participating in the tourney? No, I'm going to be hosting it right here at twitch.tv/Xaryu, baby. Does the winner win all? So the way it works is the winner wins 50,000. The other 50,000 is split. There was two ways we were talking about doing this. I believe The remaining 50,000 will be distributed evenly between top placing individuals of their respective class. I'm really happy we went with this. So this was a good idea that Tips had that I really like. So basically, if hunters are not that good in the dual tourney, but you're the top hunter, you'll still get paid, right? If you're a druid and there's not many druids that do well, and you're like the highest druid in the tourney, you'll still get paid. Makes it pretty freaking sweet, man. That sucks. Winner should get all. I completely will disagree with you there. I'm really happy that it's 50,000 for first place and 50,000 for everyone else. The reason I like that is because it takes a lot of time to hit level 60 and gear up for a tournament like this. And if you come, you know, like first place hunter or first place this or that, and you get paid nothing, it kind of would feel pretty bad. So yeah, I'm really, really happy about this. Say like Zico levels for the tourney, and you know, he's level 50 after like 2 weeks. And say he like dies at level 52 and he doesn't have time to re-level. That's part of the tournament, right? The part of the tournament is you have to not die before 60. Part of the tournament is hitting 60 on a hardcore character without a disconnect, without dying. Rule 9 says we have to stream our duels. Yes, so we can go closer into the rules. Rules and regulations. So, introduction. Guess we can take it from the top. The event will be governed by this document entitled by rules and regulations of the code and conduct unless otherwise indicated. One of the things when we were looking at making this rule set was we wanted as little rules as possible. We just wanted it to be a fair environment where people weren't cheating. That's basically the starting point for this, right? We didn't want an unfair environment, but other than that, we didn't really ban many items or things within the actual game. But let's take a look. So if a provision of the event rules is or becomes illegal, invalid, or unenforceable in any jurisdiction, that shall not affect the validity of enforceability in the jurisdiction of any other. The provision of the event rules of the validity of the enforceability in other jurisdictions. So this is just like jargon for basically saying this shit could happen, right? And this disclaimer is very awesome. I think it was a good thing that we put this disclaimer here. World of Warcraft dueling is not an officially supported Blizzard esport. While our team is working tirelessly to ensure a smooth and fair experience, there is a possibility that something goes awry during this event. It's a Makara tourney. Shit can happen. If you're uncomfortable losing your character, or in an opportunity at the prize pool due to a technicality, an administrative decision, or an in-game bug, this is not the tournament for you. So guys, this is a fun community event. If you're gonna be crying over some random bullshit that can happen, step to the side. All right, this is not the tourney for you. We're gonna have a good time. Like, no matter what, shit can happen, but we're gonna just brush it off and have a good time, okay? That's how that's gonna work, all right? We're gonna be mature about it and have a good time with it. There it is. Acceptance of the rules. By registering, you accept the rules. Additionally, by registering for and participating in the event, competitors understand that OTK, Esfon, Xaryu, Soda Poppin, and Raider.io may rebroadcast the footage of their streams of their VOD channels. Cool. Amendments, supplements, and changes. This may be amended. So we're still talking about the official rule set of everything, but I don't think much will change. There might be like 1 or 2 things that we're still in consideration about. Code of conduct. You have to be respectful and sportsmanlike towards fellow competitors, partners, viewers, press, and all SFMG staff and sponsors. This behavior extends to in-game chats, live stream comments, and other media. Threatening language, doxing, DDoSing, harassment, stalking, discrimination, and all forms of bullying towards SFMG volunteers, employees, participants, and competitors is completely unacceptable and will result in immediate expulsion, forfeiture of prize money, and bans from all future events. You love to have that in there, man. We gotta have everyone just having a good time. All right, we're having a good time. Community tournament. No dicking around. We can all be mature here and just have a good time with it. Next, referee. The SFMG will be monitored by a designated referee. Referees are volunteers responsible for making judgment calls. Makes sense, right? Cheating! All participants, competitors are expected to compare in a fair and honorable manner. Methods of cheating, such as account sharing, match fixing, stream sniping, duel disruption, external character intervention during duels, client-side abuse, hacking, exploiting, or use of banned items are forbidden. Intentional rule loophole exploitation may constitute as cheating. So if you're sitting there scratching your head like, how can I get around these rules and somehow get a free win? That's still gonna count as cheating, all right? Just play the damn video game. If an SFMG competitor or participant is found cheating, disciplinary action may include match forfeiture, disqualification, forfeiture of prize money, temporary suspension, or permanent ban from all future events. Inspection. All right. This inspection rule is why players are going to be required to stream. The reason we're requiring people to stream is so we can bag check, talent check, and make sure they're not using any banned items or breaking the rules, okay? You gotta open up your bags on stream, just like the CDL, right? Gotta show that you're not cheating, you're not bringing anything that you're not supposed to be bringing, and then you'll be given the green light to start the duel. All participants and competitors, in-game characters will be subject to a bag and talent inspection prior to and or during the event. Inspections will require competitors to open up their bags, their talent page, and their character panel on stream to ensure fair play and integrity of the competition. This is exactly how we did the CDL. Exactly how we're going to be doing the OTK Makara tournament, okay? Submittals. Competitors may be required to submit talent specs they intend to use 24 hours prior to the round taking place. We don't want people changing specs, getting summoned back and forth depending on the duel they're doing. You got to play the spec that you signed up as. Attendance. You got to show up in a timely manner. So far, we're like halfway through the rules, and there hasn't really been any rule in-game yet. There's been 0 in-game rules. This is all just like making sure the tournament runs in a fair and balanced way, right? That's it. Like, that's all it has been so far. Disciplinary clause. Violating the rules may include penalty points, event disqualification, right? So once again, you just don't break the rules. General event info. Cool. Once again, this isn't really like a rule. This is just explaining things in the rules. Where and when. October 6th, you start leveling. October 30th, you start qualifying. October 31st, it's the finals. Okay? $100,000 prize pool. It's going to be streamed on Esfun, Xaryu, and my channel. Or Soda Poppin', Esfun, and my channel. However, streamers are welcome to co-stream the event, provided they abide by the Blizzard and Twitch TOS. Awesome, man. The SFMG prize pool is going to be $100,000. 50K will be distributed to the top players of their respective classes, which I love this rule. It'll be for Horde characters. That means no Paladins, unfortunately, but it is on the Horde side. Registration. So this just shows you how to register in the rules. You basically just click on the registration form. You sign up with Raider.io. You create a Horde character. You have to have SFMG at the end of your name. You log out. You resync. You fill out the form. Log back in. And you start leveling. Gonna have about 30 days to level. I guess a little less. Event format. So this is the juicy stuff. Okay? We're getting to the juicy stuff here. This is open to the public. Yep, anyone can join. Anyone can join. What about leveling sabotage? Well, hopefully players don't do that, but it's an MMO, so it's going to be hard to stop it completely. Okay, on October 30th, registered participants who make it to level 60 will go through a qualifying round to determine who will advance to the Makara finals. Okay, so we'll see how many people make it to 60. You know what I mean? Could be 100, could be 200, I don't know. We'll see. Could be a long day if it's more than that. Qualifier duels will be regular duels, not Makara. So, we wanted players who didn't make it to the finals to not have their characters deleted. So if you are in the qualifiers, they're going to be just regular duels. So if it's like the top 200 players, you're going to be regular dueling, best of one, to make it to the finals. The finals are, of course, Makaras. That's kind of a nice rule here, so that players who make it all the way to 60 and that don't actually make it to the tournament can still keep that 60 if they want to raid and play that character. Yeah, that's huge W. Yeah, it was pretty smart to do it like this way. Qualifier format and rule set will be released at a later date, at least 1 week in advance of the qualifiers. Winners of the qualifiers will advance to the Makara Finals. Makara Finals! On the 31st, top placing members of the qualifiers will advance to the finals, competing in the best of 1 duel to the death. The bracket finals will be crowned the king/queen of death and be awarded with the lion's share of the prize pool. Cool. So here are the actual rules, general rules. So all of this was really just jargon to make sure the tournament goes smooth and clean, and these are the rules in the game. Let's go over each one, and if you guys have any questions, let me know and we can clarify, okay? All gear acquired with an MC, Anixia's Lair, BWL, ZG, AQ20, AQ40, and Nax is banned. The big reason we wanted to do this is to prevent streamers having too much of a benefit against someone who doesn't have that same benefit of just getting carried through Naxxramas or carried through AQ40. We wanted to level the playing field. The best gear you can get is the dungeon gear and the pre-bis gear sets. That's it. You can't go into raids. You can't just get carried through BWL and Nax for your for some bis gear, whatever it is, and come in with that. This is to level out the playing field. All you can do is get 60 and get a full set of like blues, maybe some epics from dungeons. Really like this rule. World bosses. Everyone's asking about world bosses. So we're still in consideration and still in talks with whether or not we're going to allow world bosses. Right as it stands right now, world bosses are allowed. Now, you're probably wondering why. Because the loot from there is really good. The reason we were thinking of considering just allowing them how it is written right now is because, 1, world bosses are very hard to get to level 60, get a group, and kill the world boss in time, in 30 days. That's very hard to do. And it's very risky to do. You could die and lose your character trying to kill a world boss. So it's very hard and very risky. So we're thinking if it's very hard and very risky and someone pulls it off, maybe they should have a little advantage. Having said that, we're still in active communication of whether or not they should be allowed. Unless you're a streamer. So here's the thing. Even if you're a streamer, guys, we're doing the tourney on Skull Rock. On Skull Rock, there's not many 60s. There's not a huge economy. Streamers have no gold here, really, right? And there's 10 warriors or so that are probably going to sign up for the tournament. Not many warriors are signing up for the tourney. You're going to need tanks. You're going to need a full raid group. You think you're going to have just infinite 60s laying around? Maybe. Maybe. Having said that, we'll consider not allowing world bosses. That's something that's in active discussion. Yep. Cool. All right, next rule. All world buffs are banned. World buffs are classified as buff obtained through Songflower, Diremal, Zanzas, etc. Head drops, yeah. No world buffs in the dual tourney. I like this rule. I think it's fair. It's like if you have world buffs, then it becomes just like a freaking headache and a half. It's good. All baseline class abilities and class buffs are permitted, so I guess this rule doesn't really need to be there. It's like, it's just, yeah, you can play your class. Competitors may not leave a designated dueling location for any reason to repair. So you can't like be in the duel location, get summoned away, you know, do this and that, like turn in a quest to get a buff. Like, no, bro, once you're at the dueling location, you have to be there, and you cannot log off. So you can't be like logging off to like cheese your buffs to like keep the buff on time. It's like, bro, you're just online at the dueling spot. When your name's called, you play the damn duel, okay? We want as little cheesing as possible. Just play the game. There's going to be 2 to 3 minute downtime between duels for classes to heal, buff, and mana up. Just so the show keeps running. Competitors must be aware that due to a variety of circumstances, dueling locations may be changed. exactly. If there's like griefers or something, we'll have multiple spots to bring the competitors to. Players must maintain one talent build each for the qualifier stage and the Makara finals. We don't want people changing talent builds, getting summoned back and forth for every duel to min-max for that specific duel. You just play with a talent build, play the game. Duelists may only compete with one character for the entirety of the tournament. If you do die on your character, you can register again on a second character. So say you are leveling 2 weeks in, you die, you could re-register with a new tune from level 1. You cannot have 260s and compete in both. That's what this rule is here for. Competitors shall be required to stream their perspective of play. Once again, this is so we can bag check, talent inspect, and make sure there's no cheating involved. Competitors are responsible for reading and understanding the rules. Easy. So basically, the rules really are no raid gear and no world buffs. I mean, that's pretty much it. There's a couple more rules here in engineering items that we'll get to, and consumes that we'll get to in a sec. Delay of game. No intentional delays shall be permitted. Rogues sitting in stealth and any non-strategic acts whose sole purpose is delay a duel will result in a forfeit of the duel by the delayer. An activity of 60 seconds or more during a duel will result in immediate delay of game penalty and potential disqualification. It's a tournament. We want people to have fun watching it. You can't sit in stealth for 30 minutes. Can't do it, right? We're like, in a real Makara, I guess you could, but for a tournament, for the viewing experience, for the audience, we want the duels to move on. You can't just sit in stealth for half an hour, okay? Intentionally fleeing from a duel will result in disqualification and forfeiture all prize money by the fleeing player. You can't just run away. If a player is intentionally force fled by another player, so if you're spam sheeping someone outside the duel zone, that will result in immediate disqualification and forfeiting all prize money. You can't force flee a player. You can't spam, chain, fear them, or chain sheep them outside the duel. That is cheating. You cannot do that. Competitors should be mindful that ambiguous flee situations may arise, and those will be called into review and judgment of the SFMG organizers. Cool. Cool. If the event of a duel timeout, no one will be granted. Duelists will reduel, but they'll cap food and water. So if the duel does timeout, you do a new duel with 3 foods and waters, so you can't actually just kite forever. Mages, okay? Whoever wrote this document knows their shit. Great job. So yeah, I can't take too much credit, man. We were in a call with, should we do some shout outs? It was Tips Out, right? Tips Out got the document from the CDL. The CDL rules were conglomerated from the community, so you guys. In the Discord, it was Rockman, myself, Lesimos, and Tips deciding on these rules, making sure that it was as fair but as little rules as possible to continue the spirit of the Makara. So I'm glad you guys are liking the rule set so far. All right, let's get through it. Interference. In the event of external interference, guys. So if you're having friends come and help you, like PvP flagged on, that's not allowed. You're gonna get DQ'd. C-dank. Engineering items. So the only engineering item that is banned is the Gnomish Mind Control Cap. And the reason we banned it is because in my last tournament we put on, C-dank, somebody, alright, used the Gnomish Mind Control Cap, had someone come in and one-shot the guy. That's not going to be allowed, alright? You can't use the Mind Control Cap because we could have griefers grief with the Mind Control Cap with PvP turned on. Not allowed. But that's it. That's the only ban, and that's why. We don't want griefers. And consumables. Now the only consumable that's banned is Flask of Petri. And once again, we want to allow everyone to do anything because it's a Makara tourney. The only reason we're not allowing Flask of Petri, I think this goes without saying, it has no cooldown. It's a 60-second immunity. So you could technically Petri over and 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 over until you have all your cooldowns back and the duel will never end. This is a tournament. We want people to have fun watching. So obviously you can't Petri. I think that makes a lot of sense. So basically there's almost no rules really. Like it's just Mind Control Cap for no griefers and Flask of Petri so you can't stall a duel forever. Everything else is allowed. That was a hard decision to come to. We had a lot of discussions about it, but I think it's the right one. There's basically no rules. Like, you can play, yeah, you can do what you want, man. Yeah. Openers! Prior to the duel commencing, participants will be situated in the dueling area designated by the SFMG referees and administrators. Competitors may not mount up prior to opening a duel. We don't want players, like, mounted up and running. So, like, a hunter, for example, against, like, a priest. The hunter would just run 100 yards away and never let the priest get close. Like, that's not cool. Like, you have to start at 20 yards from each other from the dueling flag. So it's just like you just start the duel and go. It's not like you start the duel from 1,000 yards out. You know, you start the duel and go. This time around, though, there's no openers guaranteed. So a rogue, you don't have to let a rogue just open on you. You don't have to let a warrior get the first charge. Once the duel starts, you do whatever the hell you want to do. A lot of people have been asking about how the rogue opener is going to look. If you don't get a guaranteed opener and you have to stay 20 yards, people are like, well, how do rogues open? It's a good question. I think we'll probably add an amendment to this opener. So, like, rogues can stealth. You can stealth as a rogue, sure. As a rogue, you don't have to be exactly in the spot of 20 yards away so people just AoE you out. Like, you can put down the duel flag, go stealth, and the duel will start, right? So we'll be more clear about that. That's a good question that people brought up. It's not like you're gonna instantly get found every time it's a rogue, and that's the rules. That's the rules. There it is. Name is Dusty, thanks for the prime. Airless, thanks for the tier 1. Simstar, thanks for the tier 1. Godspeed, thanks for the tier 1. Cotano, thanks for the prime. Zesty, thanks for the prime. Welcome, boys. Enjoy your stay and enjoy your lack of ads here on the channel. What are we thinking, boys? We got through it. What are we thinking? W. When's it start? Tomorrow. Black, thanks for the prime. W. Jason, thanks for the prime. I'm just so happy I can be a part of putting on one of the biggest tournaments World of Warcraft has ever seen. I feel like, dude, what an honor, man. What an honor. What an honor, man. I'm excited about it. I'm excited about it. I can't wait. Pyrian, thanks for the prime. I will be broadcasting the tourney, guys. I will be co-hosting, co-casting the tournament. Yep. How will I spectate? I believe we're gonna have an observer, and I'll be having the observer's eyes. Our Blizzard admins assisting. We'll see how much they help. We'll see. Maybe a little bit. This is an insane time commitment to anyone participating. Yeah, so we got to give a shout out to all the competitors, man. Like, if you're competing in this tourney, it is going to be a crazy ass 3 weeks, man. I do want to make this clear because I don't want it to be a buzzkill, but we are due to have our baby the first week of November. If the baby comes sooner than that, which could happen, then I will not be hosting because I will be having a baby IRL. So that's the only way in which we actually are going to be a part of it, but which would be amazing because if the, you know, I'm excited for that. But assuming the baby doesn't come early, it'll be hosted right here on the channel, man, along with Soda Pop and Esfond. Dude, what an exciting thing. What an exciting thing, man.